Black Widow has finally hero-posed its way into theaters with plenty of tasty Easter eggs in its web. Hello Marvel fans, after a year of delays we finally got the Black Widow movie, and it gives us more of Natasha's backstory, explains moments in previous films, and even brings back a character from a Disney Plus show. We know that you're hungry, so let's crack these eggs right open. I'm Greg Elliott with Screen Rant, and here is every Marvel Easter egg reference and callback we found in Black Widow.
Did you get it? And the North Institute. Ashes.
The mission the Red Room spy family was sent to complete was to steal key intel from the North Institute, which could be named after Oliver North, the government official involved in the Iran-Contra scandal in the 1980s, but in the comics is the organization that sent killers after Natasha as a front for the Red Room's replacement agency 2R in Black Widow #1 in 2004. Now, he is not in the movie much, but Secretary Ross does have time to get in a little dig at Ant-Man, and the god from space Yelena later refers to is clearly our boy Thor. And while we're talking Avengers, let's talk about all the ones Taskmaster copies in the movie. After watching footage from Black Widow and Hawkeye's fight from Captain America Civil War, she later mimics both of them in the film. But she also unleashes some claws a la Black Panther, and even kickflips up her shield just like Captain America and handles a knife just like Bucky from Captain America the Winter Soldier.
That's the way the whole friends thing works.
I have friends.
People who have friends don't call me.
The Handmaid's Tale's O.T. Fagbenle also appears in the film as Mason, who by all accounts is playing a version of Rick Mason, who debuted in his very own comic in 1989. But rather than being a secret agent like he is there, in Black Widow he's a fixer who can get anything for a price. And while Natasha's hiding out in Norway, we catch her quoting along to the Bond film Moonraker, which you might not think much of at first, but consider that the movie does have a huge space station hidden from radar, much like Dreykov's floating Red Room in the sky. So, remember this scene from The Avengers?
I got red in my ledger. I'd like to wipe it out.
Can you wipe out that much red? Dreykov's daughter, Sao Paulo, the hospital fire. Barton told me everything.
Well, not only does Alexei nod directly to that red ledger line, we finally found out what actually went down in Budapest and what Loki's Dreykov's daughter line meant and why Nat remembers it so differently from Clint. And speaking of Clint, in addition to his arrow holes in the safe house, Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye does actually make a quick uncredited voice-only cameo in the flashback scene.
Budapest?
Yeah, Budapest.
No, it's Budapest.
Budapest. Budapest.
Budapest.
When Natasha and Yelena bust Alexei out of prison, their white outfits are pulled straight from the Black Widow Deadly Origin comics from 2009, where they were designed by the Red Room as snow camouflage. And the big guy whose arm Alexei breaks, well, Alexei calls him Ursa and refers to him as the Big Bear, which we're pretty sure makes him the MCU's Mikhail Ursus, also known as Ursa Major, a mutant who can turn into a giant bear who first appeared in The Incredible Hulk #258 in 1981. Also, in the comics, Ursa and Alexei are part of the Winter Guard, Russia's version of the Avengers, another member of which is Crimson Dynamo, their version of Iron Man, which gives a little extra meaning to Yelena's joke at Melina's house. And the first Crimson Dynamo was Anton Vanko, whose son Ivan shows up in Iron Man 2 as Whiplash.
Captain America. My great adversary. Not so much a nemesis, more like a contemporary, co-equal.
Although his story about fighting Captain America is impossible because of the timeline, as Ursa unfortunately pointed out, Alexei's obsession with Cap is a direct nod to his desire in the comics to fight him to prove who was superior, which they did actually do in Avengers #44 in 1963. Near the end of the film, Natasha disguises herself as Melina using a photostatic veil, or nanomask, which is the same trick she used on Alexander Pierce in The Winter Soldier, and the same tech also appeared in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And the fake faces that the veil masks sit on, well, we think they do bear a bit of resemblance to Melina's Iron Maiden alter ego from the comics. Yelena's super cool many-pocketed vest that she gives to Natasha is of course the same one that Nat is wearing when she shows up in Infinity War, and we also learn how she got that Quinjet thanks to her friend Mason. And listen carefully, Alan Silvestri's now iconic Avengers theme plays as Natasha jets off to reunite with the Avengers.
I want to raise, oh yeah, you and me both. Maybe you'd like a shot at the man responsible for your sister's death.
The post-credit scene has Julia Louis-Dreyfus's Contessa Valentina giving Yelena a surprising new target. Now, Val was supposed to be introduced in Black Widow before the pandemic changed the MCU's plans, so she instead debuted in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But it definitely looks like she's building some kind of team, possibly the MCU's version of the Thunderbolts or the Dark Avengers, and Yelena is their second recruit, or maybe the first, depending on how you look at it. Black Widow didn't bring Natasha back from the dead, but it did give her the long overdue solo story that she deserved. With Loki wrapping up a week after its release, but plenty more MCU goodness on the way, we can't wait to see what the future holds. So keep coming right back here to Screen Rant for more write-ups and videos on all things Marvel. I'm Greg Elliott, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.